I'm absolutely delighted at this stage to introduce and welcome renowned global guru of governance, Professor Mervyn King. He is Chairman Emeritus of the King Commission and founder and patron of the Good Governance Academy. Mervyn's contribution to governance principles around the world is peerless. Please welcome Professor Mervyn King.
Thank you very much, Adam, for the introduction. I thought this was a virtual event, hence I arrived late. My apologies for that. In the middle of the 19th century, wealthy families were providing capital to organizations, companies, which had unlimited liability, for them to use that money as working capital. The wealthy families started balking against doing this because when the business failed, they were still liable to the creditors and the employees. Lord Gladstone and other thought leaders at the time said, why don't we, the government of the United Kingdom, develop an artificial person with limited liability? Then the wealthy people can get a share of that and will issue a certificate to say they have that percentage of the company. And so the concept was born. It was heavily opposed by the clergy. Lord Thurlow, who was a leading clergy at that day, said famously in 1866, "Who are we to create a person? Only Almighty God can create a person. Who are we to create a person that has no mind, no heart, no soul, and no conscience?" He was right. The limited liability company that is formed today has no heart, no mind, no soul, and no conscience. In fact, it cannot operate until you, as individuals, are appointed its directors. And when something goes wrong, the wrath of society should not turn against the company, because by definition, the company is an incapacitated person. It's like a child, and the directors are the guardians of this child, the steward of their assets. The wrath of society should turn against those corporate leaders and not against the company. In Australia 2 years ago on the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, I gave a talk about the innocent company. There is no company in the world that has done anything wrong, but its leaders have committed wrongs. And the most important quality of a leader is to be conscious of the relevant facts and circumstances pertinent to the business of the company. I heard Adam speak about purpose. Today, corporate leaders have to know what the purpose of the business is. And what is the definition of purpose? It's profitable solutions without having adverse impacts on people and planet. And if they are adverse, do these corporate leaders have a plan to mitigate or ameliorate those wrongs? If not, I, as the trustee of your pension fund, should not continue to invest your money in the equity of that company. Today, the great asset managers and asset owners no longer ask the question, how much money has the company made? Of course, that's important. But the critical issue is, how has the company made its money? If it's made its money subsidized by society and the environment, it's made no contribution to society. And when you think back, the description I very briefly gave you to the formation of the limited liability company, it was formed by society, its representative, the government, for society, to be used as a platform to raise capital and create jobs. But its brain, its mind, its heart, its soul, its conscience, its stewardship, its guardianship depends on the individual leaders. You have to be conscious, corporate leaders. Otherwise, you will have a company that is not recognized by right-thinking people. So purpose has become a critical issue. And the question of how the money is made is now the critical issue. In the capital markets of the world today, a financial due diligence is not the only thing that is done by the asset owners and asset managers. An ESG diligence is done, environmental, social, and governance. And I'm proud to say they use the King 4 as the method of that accountability. They ask questions of the community in which the company operates. What is the legitimacy of the operations of this company? Do you have trust and confidence in this company? Why do you have that trust and confidence? Etc., etc. So money today, you look at the collection of money in funds today, it's made up in the main of companies that are following these ESG principles. The makeup of the market capitalization of companies on the great stock exchanges of the world today, only 20% is reflected as additives in a balance sheet. The rest are going to be reported in sustainability reports and eventually in an integrated report. So conscious corporate leadership is critical. Thank you.